Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very compact, realistic elevator. We can use it by simply going into the shaft of the elevator and pressing this button, which will close the doors and elevate the platform that we currently stand on. We can see the doors closing and opening up here while the platform is being raised. When we arrive at the top, we can go out of the shaft and look around on our balcony. If we press the button by accident, you would think we couldn't use the elevator until another player would come up. Well, no, we can just call the platform with this outside button. Once it's at the top, we can just hop in and go back down like usual. Let's now get into the tutorial. As you can see, we are going to need a 7 by 7 by 13 area to build this contraption. And right here you can see the path that I want to use, and our pathway is going to extend just like this into our elevator shaft, which we're going to position 2 blocks from this edge and 2 blocks from this edge. And we have to place 4 stick pistons in a 2 by 2 area, 1 block above our last block, just like this, with slime blocks on top, and then also our floor block. Make sure that this floor block is a non-movable object like a ferni or melon blocks, just like this. And I'm going to use melon blocks because they have the highest texture, because you can't really see obsidian that well in a tutorial. Next, we're going to wire up this moving platform, and for that we're going to place a block right next to the sticky piston, then a block just diagonally down from there with a 2-tick repeater facing into this block, then a block, and this repeater is going to be powered by this redstone dust. After that, we want to also power this redstone dust with a 2-tick repeater, which is in turn going to be powered by another redstone dust, which is going to have a block above it and another redstone dust, which is going to butt power this piston once it's in this position. And lastly, we want to power this block right here. And to do that, we're going to place in a redstone dust right there, and just connect these two with some redstone dust just like this. And then in the middle we want to have a block just like this with a redstone repeater facing into this redstone dust with a block on top. And lastly, we want to configure this repeater to 3 ticks instead of 2 as we have right here. And now if we just place in a redstone block, we should see this is going to fully extend once we have placed in the rest of the shaft, just like this. And now it's going to fully retract as usual. Now that we've done the moving platform bit, we can now move on to the doors. And for that, we're going to get the signal from here with a stick piston facing down and a redstone block on the face of it. Then I like to use a other color for the circuit, but that's your choice. I just like to have it for a bit of order. Then we're going to take a 4-tick repeater out of there and lead it into 2 redstone dust right here, and make sure this is a half slab so you don't power this piston. Next up, we are going to place in 2 more redstone dust, which are going to power 2 repeaters, both set on 1 tick, facing into a other direction both. Then we're going to get out our redstone torches and place in the doors right here. So we're going to have 3 high doors with some sticky pistons behind them, just like this. Then leave a gap and 3 more sticky pistons. And do the same thing on the other side. So 3 sticky pistons, then a gap, 3 sticky pistons. And now we want to wire them up so they all do the same thing at the same time. And for that we're going to use a simple torch tower of sorts. We're going to start with a torch right here, then a block which is going to be powered by that torch. Another torch on top with a block on top and a redstone dust, and this is going to extend all of these pistons at the exact same time. Then we want to go out from there with another redstone torch, and another redstone torch with redstone on top. And this is going to just alternate these pistons with these pistons extending. We want to do a similar thing on the other side. We just want to go up with a block right here, but this time we don't want to go out, but rather back. So just place in a torch, redstone dust, torch, block, torch, and redstone dust right here. And now you can place in your door blocks just like this. And by the way, I've marked the spots that are going to be butt powering the pistons with obsidian for more clear vision. We can now start with the buttons of our system, and for that we're going to get a system that's going to place a redstone block in this location for us with a sticky piston with a block of redstone on its face. Then we want to grab a output from this block right next to the obsidian by just getting a repeater output and then 3 more repeaters that are going to power a sticky piston with a slime block and a observer facing into this direction, which is going to power this block, which is in turn going to power this piston, which is going to create a T flip-flop. Now we can place in our repeater, and we should see that everything is working just fine, just like this. Now we want to do a similar thing up here. So we want to find the block again, and it should be this one, and I'm just going to get a output with a sticky piston and a observer facing down like this, which is going to in turn power this block, which should also do the trick. We have now hooked up the buttons inside the cabin, but we also want buttons outside the cabin, and for that we're going to place them in and go to the upper one, which is going to have a sticky piston and a block, which is going to update a observer, which is going to power a redstone line, which is very easily going to just power this sticky piston. But we can't directly power it because that would influence this sticky piston, which is going to be a part of the door. And because we can't do that, we would just want to butt power it with this diagonal powering, and then just update it with a normal piston or whatever you want. And this can be also updated by rail, but I don't think this is ideal because it would break the rail. But now we can see this also influences the T flip-flop, just like this. Then we only have to hook up the bottom one, and for that this is very easy. Just place in another sticky piston facing up with a block on the face of it and another observer that is going to detect changes right there. Now we can see this is working like a charm. I hope you could follow my tutorial. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. But anyway, that concludes today's video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.